I'm Job Hemsley, right here. I'm an older guy. We're starting at this end now. Let me tell you who I am. Up here, Grandma and Grandpa Manwaring, Great-Grandma and Grandpa Bates, Great-Great-Grandma and Grandpa Walters, Great-Great-Great-Grandma and Grandpa Hodgson, Great-Great-Great-Great-Grandma and Grandpa Hemsley. That's me, Job Hemsley. Well, let me tell you what we just got done doing. We went to Yellowstone Park. Have you ever been to Yellowstone Park? It was so much fun. Here we are, here are some tourists in Yellowstone Park. See, all the women are wearing dresses, and all the men wear hats, suits. There's some geysers in the background. Here are some people in Yellowstone Park. This isn't us, but that's a car like we had. And there's the Old Faithful Inn. There they are. And here's a guy feeding bears in Yellowstone Park. You can't do that now, but back then, they didn't have any laws about that. So we had a fun trip to Yellowstone Park. It was me, my daughter Agnes, and her kids, her son Hamilton, and his wife and his kids. And we all took 2 cars and we drove to Yellowstone. I have a daughter Agnes. I have a son Job, and his daughter Jane. Let me tell you the rest of my family. I have outlived all of them, all the other ones. Let me introduce you just really quick. I was born in England. There's my mother, Sarah, and my dad, Richard, and there's me. When I was 4 years old, my mom died. We buried her there in England. We will miss her. My dad hired a housekeeper to help take care of things. Her name was Sarah, and she had a couple of kids, or a few kids, and so I liked that. Oops, stand up there, little kid. And my dad kind of liked her, and they got married. So she was my stepmom, and I liked her too. She was a good mom. We joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And my older brothers and sister went to Utah. This is Ellen and Richard and Edward. They went to Utah. We wanted to go to Utah too, but we needed to earn some money first. We got to earn some money. So it was a little while. I grew up, and when I was 20 years old, we decided to go to America. So me and my dad Richard and my stepmom Sarah and her son James, we went to America. And we walked across the plains, and my mom got sick, my stepmom. And she died there on the trail, and we couldn't bury her. And so James and I kind of covered her up with some brush and some sticks and some rocks. And we sat by her grave all night so the animals wouldn't get it. And then we just had to leave her there. We're going to Zion. We're going to make it. We're going to Zion. So we kept walking. My dad also got sick, but I walked with him every morning until he started to feel better. While we were out there, some Indians came and tried to trade for a wife, and they didn't work out, and they stole all our cattle. That sounds familiar. I'll tell you something else. This was our pioneer company, the Chipman Company. Here's me. There's another young man there named Herbert Manwaring. I don't know who that is. Anyway, we kept walking, and we made it to Utah. And my sister was there, and my brothers, and we were so happy to see them, and so excited. And we had a chicken dinner. I was so tired of eating trail food. Oh man, it tasted good. And we were gonna grow up and be a family in Utah and Zion. But my dad didn't really get better. He stayed sick, and he died. And we buried him there in Utah. Well, I still had my, sister and brothers here, and James, my stepbrother. And there was a girl I knew in England. Her name was Elizabeth. And I wrote to her and I sent her some money. And she came to America and we got married. Got it worked out very nicely. We had 2 little twin boys. And one of those boys, those little babies, was a stillborn. It means he never really lived. Even when he was born, he was a stillborn. Oh, my sweet little baby. So we buried that little baby. We will miss him. But our other baby grew up, and we named him Job Jr. That's my son, Job Jr. He started to get older, and we had another little baby, and this was Richard. But when Richard was born, the next morning, my wife died, Elizabeth. I will miss her. And it was just a few months later that Richard got sick, and he died, my cute little baby. Well, you know, there was another girl I knew in England. Her name was Charlotte Yates. Whoops. And I sent her some money, and she came to Utah, and we got married. And little Job Jr. grew up, started growing up. We were glad to have him. And we had another little girl named Agnes. There's Agnes, my little daughter. And soon after that, we had another little baby. As Agnes starts to grow up. Hi, Agnes. We had little baby Moroni. We named him Moroni after the angel. But Moroni died. He got sick. My sweet little baby died again. And during this time, my wife got sick. And I got called to serve a mission. And I wrote to the prophet and said, can I take care of my wife? She's sick right now. And he said, yes, take care of your wife. And so I was glad I got to stay home and not go on a mission and take care of my wife. But my wife died, Charlotte. And I'm going to miss her. We buried her as well. Well, you know, I met a nice girl named Jane, and we got married. So this is my 3rd wife. And I went to work, and I started earning money so I could go on a mission. Because I figured, you know, I'm going to go on a mission. We're going to do it. I want to serve the Lord. And so I got some money together, and I left my kids with Jane. And I got ready to serve a mission. That's me. I'm going on my mission. I went back to England on my mission. I kept a bunch of missionary journals. These are all my journals from my mission. They're very old. And in them, I would just kind of write down like miles. I rode 28 miles, probably on a train. I walked 168 miles. I held 10 meetings, and I preached 9 times. That's a lot of walking, by the way, just so you know. And I filled up those journals with everything that I did on my mission, so I could have those. And I came home again to my wife and kids. And Jane and I adopted one more little girl. Her name was Jane. That's my little girl. And I was looking forward to enjoying my life and living it out with my family in Zion. But my wife Jane got sick and died. It was kind of sudden. We're not even sure what happened, like how she got sick, but we buried her. So that was my family. Now you've met them all. So I got 3 kids, and they grew up and they had children. And when I was about 74 years old, I'm getting old again. Here's I am. They threw a birthday party for me with all of my grandkids. There's me. Yep. And here are all of my grandkids. I'm glad I have grandkids. And, you know, I'm getting old. I'm getting to the end of life. But I'm excited because I know my whole family is waiting for me. They're still there. They can't wait until I come to meet them. All my little kids, my little babies who died, my mom and dad and my stepmom, and my other wives, they're all waiting for me. I'm looking forward to that day. I know Heavenly Father lives, and I know that families go on forever, forever and ever and ever.